Hello and welcome back to the On The Slab Horror Show, the show that we bring to you each and every Friday night. Why do we do this on a Friday night? Because Friday night is horror night. But tonight is a returning guest, and he will now become our most returned guest in his third appearance on The Slab. Obviously, a year and a half to 2 years ago, we had him on before he filmed Watchdog with LC and Dan, an episode that you seen a couple of weeks ago. But this is his third appearance on the show. You might know him from Wrong Turn, Malum, Lake Checkout, or just me absolutely fanboying out because, in my opinion, apart from David Howard Conan, he is the hottest prospect in indie horror. It is Mr. Chaney Morrow. How are you, sir?
Thanks for the intro, man. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Told you, the hype train is real.
Appreciate
it. It's not a hidden fact or a lie either. I tell people all the time. I says you're probably one of the most talented people in the indie circuit, and it's paying off.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you.
I think I mentioned over the last couple of year and a half probably that David Howard Thornton is probably the hottest prospect in horror due to Terrifier and stuff. But the way you're going, I don't think it'll be long before you catch up.
Appreciate that. Yeah, the Art the Clown. That's a hell of a thing, man. That's a certified. He'll be remembered, like the same as Freddy and Jason are today.
I don't know. It might need another couple of movies.
Yeah.
But
I think if, as long as there's a third one coming, and I think that might do it. There'd probably be four. If it makes money, there'll be a fourth.
Yeah.
I just think that appearance of his, it's
different, isn't it?
Huge now. I mean, I see it on T-shirts and shit. So I'm like, okay, yeah, this is.
I mean, in terms of clowns,
he's
obviously we have Pennywise. You had, and then you had, as we were talking off screen, you had the great Sid Haig as Captain Spaulding.
The best.
Clown-wise, I'd still stick with Curry's Pennywise.
Oh, his Pennywise, yeah.
Although Thing wasn't bad. Skarsgård wasn't bad, but if for me, clown-wise, I'd go Curry, and then I'd go Sid Haig, and then obviously Skarsgård. But now when you inject Art into that, I'd put Art over Skarsgård as well.
I would put I always look at Spaulding a little differently.
He's not as paranormal.
Yeah, and in the second one, like the makeup isn't on his face the whole movie. Like by then he's just a dirty outlaw, like the others. Like the clown thing is gone. Like probably he's just Otis, or not Otis, whatever his real name was.
Yeah.
He was just that guy for most of it. So, but I would always go back to Curry. I like the theatrical creepiness of him. It's not CGI driven.
Yeah.
Aside from that ridiculous fucking ending with the spider.
And
I also must preface that I'm not a big fan of any of them. Any of the clown movies. Not a big fan. I mean, I like Tim Curry's Pennywise, but I like that movie in chunks.
Yeah,
I like pieces of it.
it.
Yeah, and then other parts I'm like, I fast forward this.
It seems to be any part that he has a real significant interjection into.
Oh yeah, easily. He's the best part. He's the most watchable part of the movie.
If you put him into the new one.
Oh shit, Tim.
Yeah, if you had say Tim Curry's performance with the acting in the new one, you'd have been onto a gold mine. But the new one was too jump scare driven.
Yeah. He felt more like a boogeyman than like Pennywise the clown.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. It was too jump scare.
Boogeyman.
But
great
obviously,
cast, but it didn't. They didn't do much for me. The
new
ones.
Bill Hader stole the show in the second part.
Yeah, he did. I remember. I'm like, this is an incredible cast, but it just kind of flattened from. I'm like, damn, I've already seen this movie once. It's just a much longer version of it with A-list actors. But I know what everything's going to happen. Are you going to change something? Like I know how this ends. I'm not big on the remakes because It's just the same damn thing again.
You fit right in with Carl there. He's the same. He hates remakes.
Yeah, I'm just because some things are just they just get kind of ruined. Like if you do it wrong, then it tarnishes the original, or maybe it makes it look
Easy to
better.
say.
I don't know.
2010's Nightmare on Elm Street.
I'm one of the rare people that didn't have a problem with it.
Oh
I
dear.
knew that. Well, there were some things about it, and Freddy was my favorite monster, and it came out on my birthday, so that was my birthday thing. Was I went and saw Elm Street. Kyle
June.
Gallner was in it. I loved him. I couldn't wait to see him. When it was over, I was like, well, that wasn't scary. I loved Jackie Earle Haley. I didn't think he was a very good Freddy. Uh, I didn't like that they exposed Freddy as some kind of sexual pervert.
Yeah.
I thought that
They,
hurt the mythology of
they
it.
really, really went after that one.
Yeah, I was like, that really bothered me. But when it was over, I'm like, well, fuck it. I mean, I doubt there'll be a sequel. So I actually enjoyed the Friday the 13th remake. That I prefer that to the original Friday the 13th.
With
The
Derek
original
Mears.
Friday the 13th bores the living shit out of me.
The original one or part two now, where Jason comes into it.
The original with his mom's doing all the killing. It just bores the shit out of me, man.
Do you know what that movie holds? The very first part in the movie that terrified me to a point.
Really?
You know the scene when Kevin Bacon gets killed with the arrow through the neck.
Yeah.
That I was terrified for weeks.
Savini's effects were great. But in terms of the movie, I was so young when I saw it. I got into Jason first, and learning about his mom was later. And it just didn't do anything for me because I thought Jason was awesome, and she was, who cares?
Yeah, Betsy Palmer was brilliant, though. To be fair to her,
she was excellent. I can't discredit her performance. She was damn creepy, and the ending is awesome. It's kind of slow moving and just didn't do much for me,
The one part about the 2013 remake was the tunnels. I didn't like that. How he's getting.
Yeah, he was a hell of an underground engineer, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was.
Derek Mears is a big man too.
Yeah. I thought he was awesome. Thought he was a good Jason.
I seen him this year. He was over at the con that I was at. Now I didn't go over to him, but I seen him standing up. He walked by me, and I was like, "Fuck, you're big."
Yeah, he's tall, man.
Like I'm 6'1", and he was towering above me. I was like,
"Yeah, cool." Yeah, he's good. I like him. But I thought that one was enjoyable. It threw a few little things in there I didn't see coming.
Yeah, the tunnels was the problem that everyone had, I think.
That he was just so damn good, like he had an underground city.
Where's no one knew he was even there.
He's just been burrowing.
Yeah, tunneling it out.
Squirrels and shit.
That was it. I suppose probably if it didn't show that scene, I probably wouldn't have had as much an issue with it. Probably, maybe.
Yeah, I reckon that. It never really occurred to me about the tunnels. I reckon.
Now maybe that's just me nitpicking at it. Maybe. I'm at that point where there's some remakes I like better than the originals. I'm one of the few that likes the 03 Texas Chainsaw rather than the original.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm one of those people.
Yeah, no, I can understand that.
But I'm Dawn of the Dead 04, the Zack Snyder one.
Yeah.
I'm among that too. More so because it's a faster paced movie.
It is. It's I prefer the original, but only for for that reason. But I love the remake. Like he couldn't have done a better job.
No.
It's a super worthy remake because it doesn't carbon copy the first one. Yeah. It gets its message delivered, and it's got a fucking crazy awesome ending.
Yeah.
I loved it. I liked that the first one because there was so kind of philosophy driven in terms of how they were treating society. I believe if they hadn't gotten so stuck in that mall, if they weren't so anxious to settle down, and get comfortable, that they would have all lived and they would have just left, but setting up and determining what's yours now, willing to fight to the death. It's odd. Like they could have survived, but this mentality to like set up and take, and it's awesome too. I like to think about that a lot, And
I think
the
The
remake,
Walking
they
Dead
just
settled
built
on that
that
as
big
well.
ass bus. Like, all right, let's go. Like,
Yeah.
all right.
The Walking Dead kind of fell to that mold as well, didn't it? Later on in the series, it was settled down, and then humans became the problem.
Yeah.
And I suppose, though, in them kind of situations, humans are evidently going to be the problem.
Yeah, yeah. Like they could have lasted as longer than it, but those are problems they created with their decisions they made. That's all. But I could talk forever about it, I reckon. Like I'm just rambling, but as I really like the first one for that reason. It's so character driven, it's not the big group of people that we deal with in the remake,
Yeah.
And you have to kind of sacrifice. In doing that, you sacrifice some of those zombie deaths, even when they lose my dude, why does his name escape me? I love him. The blonde cop dies like halfway through. Gets bit.
In the original.
Yeah, in the original. Like he's Ken Foray's buddy, but he gets bit and he's got to take him down later. Like that. That was awesome.
I think I might be wrong as well. I'm not. I don't think I'm wrong, but I might be stood to be corrected. But I think is that the first movie that a first horror movie where a black guy survived? I might stand to be corrected on that, but I think it might be.
I don't know.
But it's one of the oldest ones I can remember.
Yeah, because you know what? Shit. I'm sure there's gotta be something, man. I mean, I would truly hope, but I mean, nothing that comes to mind. Nothing like as mainstream as.
No, it's not. Night of the Living Dead. Dwayne Jones.
Yeah, he dies. I mean, we're kind of led to believe he dies, though.
Well, I just googled it there, and it says that Dwayne Jones in Night of the Living Dead 1968 actually survives the night, valiantly fighting off zombies. I thought he died as well.
So did I.
But
I thought that was kind of the tragic ending, that I remembered was in the
George A. Romero, unfortunately, isn't here to tell us.
Yeah, and he would too. He was an awesome guy, from what I understand.
But enough about every other movie. Let's get into your stellar 2023 year. Obviously, big year for yourself. Obviously, one of my most anticipated movies in M2 and Mutilator 2, Malum. And now technically Watch Dogs is going to be a 2024. But obviously I had the chance to see it already and check out as well. They're the four that I've seen you in this year. And all four did not disappoint.
Yeah, thanks, man.
As I said to you, 2 years ago now, just a year and a half ago, before you went off to do Watchdog, I says you're a name to remember. And as I said, the star's only building now. Well, it was there, but it's getting bigger now. So we might as well start with Malum. Obviously, previous episode we had with Ant, the director, and he had nothing but good things to say about you. So what was your time on set like?
Oh man, it was awesome. I was really excited to jump into the wardrobe to see what, because we did tried so many different things in the costume department. Like I must have tried on probably 40, 50 different outfits, but they were all so unique and kind of groovy, like kind of vintage looking. I was like, man, this is awesome. What, and when we finally did settle on it, that was like the final piece for me. Once you're in the shoes, then all bets are off.
The tan turtleneck jumper.
I had it. Yeah, it was awesome, man. I loved walking around in that thing. But clothing and turtlenecks, for instance, like a lot these things all affect your movement, how you walk, the shoes, like everything dictates how you're going to move. So I love the costume because it gave me so many ideas, so much to play with. Um, my time on set beyond that was fantastic, man. The rest of the cast, I got Jessica Sula was just dynamite.
Oh, she stole the show.
Watching her work every day, man. She was strong. She's very strong, very very gifted. She's the name to look out for. She's fantastic. And hell, I mean, shit, she's already known, but it's all good things for her, man. She's super gifted. I
And I,
loved watching the set pieces and these things put together, because I was curious what they would look like. I wanted to know exactly how Anthony saw it, how he was looking at the stuff, and he's a great director like that.
yeah,
That the visuals really set you there. Uh, so that was exciting. I mean, I'm sitting there, I'm learning stuff watching him, run his set. Um, the makeup department, those guys were great. Watching them do their thing was so impressive. Uh, the makeup they did on me at one point, I couldn't believe how fast they were able to do it, but how damn good it looked.
oh yeah.
Like I was in there snapping pictures, and I never take selfies, man, for myself. But it's like this is really
The
cool.
the teeth, the teeth got it
Yeah,
for me with the little
uh,
pointy teeth.
I got nothing but good things to say about set, man.
Obviously, it takes a lot of bottle in terms of Anthony coming back to remake his old movie, and obviously in the last shift, because he wasn't happy about how it came about. To go and do it his way, and I think he absolutely surpassed um, last shift. Like I said to him in the episode, I said to him, I said I wasn't a great fan of last shift. Um, but when I heard it was getting a reboot, I was like, okay, maybe. And then obviously we'd done the episode and we've been in contact for a while, and I was like, oh, my boy Chaney's in it. I'll give it a go. And I absolutely loved it. I've watched it probably 4 times this year.
Oh, awesome.
I watched it once and I had it so high up on my list. I was like, no, do you know what? That might be recency bias. So I was like, I'll go and watch it again in a couple of weeks. Still loved it. And then I watched it with a couple of the lads, and then I watched it with some of the other lads. And I was like, I'm making believers out of people here.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
But
great news, man.
it's dark, it's tense. Um, and I said to you, like, after I watched it, I sent you a message and I was like, yeah, that's the most Charles Manson like performance. That's not Charles Manson. Um, from everything, from the way you carried yourself to the character itself, it was just off the charts.
Thanks.
I loved it.
I, I
I know the movie's not going to be for everybody because it's slower than most, but if you haven't seen Malum, go give it a look.
Yeah, by all means,
Yeah,
check it out, my people.
it's brilliant. As you can see over your shoulder there, shout out to John Hall from the Under the Floorboards podcast. Little
Yeah,
award there for Chaney that he got
man.
this year.
Got it. Yeah.
Uh,
Got that
Yeah,
from Alum, actually.
yeah, brilliant.
It was
You got my vote in that one
hell of
too.
an honor. Yeah, it was a hell of an honor, man. John's
Obviously,
a cool dude.
they ran their award show earlier on in the year. So shout out to them.
Hmm.
He's a good guy. We've been in contact
He
with
is.
him for a while.
Yeah, he's really, really nice, man. Very, very kind to me.
You got my vote in that one too.
Thanks.
But yeah, so like the fact that one's out, you can probably say a bit more, but there's no money because I don't want to ruin the film for people either. But I think Ant absolutely smashed it. Yourself, Jessica, all the supporting cast, makeup effects were all brilliant in it. And I mean to say, it's a very tense hour and a half of you watching it. Right from the first 3 or 4 minutes in, you're like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, it never lets up, man. It's I saw it once in the theater right when it came out. I drank, I had a 60-ounce pop, something ridiculous, but I had to pee really bad. But I couldn't leave, and I was able to hold it because I was like, man, it's hard to walk away. I didn't want to miss anything,
Use
because
the cup.
at any moment something was going to happen, and I'm like, I don't know if this got edited in a way where something's going to happen differently, and I was like, I can't leave. So I held the PP
You should have
to
used the
finish
cup.
the flick. Yeah, worth it though, because I would have missed something. Like there was something happened. I was like, oh, thank God, I would have missed it.
And it's some of the things in it were so subtle.
Mm.
It could be a shadow moving behind her,
Yeah,
or when the pig somehow comes around. It was just all around brilliant. Like as I says, I'm not a huge fan of those kind of movies, but I was engrossed. Um, Now I will say, in all honesty, I don't. If you weren't in it, I don't think I probably would have watched it. Because I'm not into that, and I didn't really like Last Shift.
mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so glad I did.
Oh, man, well, I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people that really loved Last Shift and didn't like Malum, because they kind of preferred it as it was. But hey, either way, as long as they prefer one of them, it's a win for Anthony. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I
absolutely.
mean, he's doing it. It's okay for him, because I
But
mean, worst case scenario, one of his movies is better than.
yeah,
It doesn't
I'll give you
hurt my feelings or anything. I think it's a damn good flick on its own, and I do think. I liked Last Shift. I liked it
yeah.
a lot. Like when I got wind of the project, I knew exactly when they said Last Shift Reboot. I was like, oh, that's it's like the cop movie. I was like, I saw it, right around when it came out. I remember liking it a lot. I was like, well, I never heard about it again.
Yeah, I'll give you a funny one. I was on one of the horror pages on Facebook when it came out, and when it dropped in the States, and people were this girl wrote up a big piece on it, and she was like, "Can people not get their own fucking ideas about making movies? This is clearly a rip off of Last Shift, this, that, and the other." And I commented underneath it, and I was like, first of all, if you're gonna make an absolute rant, at least make sure you get the information right. I says it's the same director rebooting his own movie because he wasn't happy how it went. No, it's not. And I was like, I literally just done an interview with him.
No,
I
it
was like,
isn't.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was like, okay. I was like, do you know what? I was like, I just posted the interview to it, and I was like, there you go watch that. He'll tell you straight up.
Yeah,
But,
there was a lot of that. Like, just to say, and plus I don't read any of it with like a wide eye unless it's a credible. I am guilty of reading like credible critics reviews, and when it comes to that, Malum did really well. Critically,
it was
it did
definitely
just fine.
it was a well made movie, to be fair.
Yeah, so I'm like, hey, I was happy with it. I didn't give a fuck what anybody really thought about it overall. I knew that it was gonna be good. Like I was there. I had a feeling. I was like, they got a lot of great shit here. Yeah. Like this movie's gonna be decent no matter what. No matter what happens here with me, this movie's gonna look really fucking cool. And it did. It did.
That helps too.
I was just giggling the whole time. Like people weren't looking to say this is awesome.
Yeah. But I'd say we move on to a little bit one of a bit more light-hearted nature. Obviously one that I've been extremely close in the build-up to interviewing probably so many of the cast in Mutilator 2. I know you haven't seen the final cut yet, but what was that like on set? Because you're in the room with Buddy Cooper, an absolute legend, Ruth Martinez, Bill Hitchcock, Terry Kaiser was there. Obviously Jack Chatham was back in it.
I got when I got there, they were already kind of in production. Like the production had already started. My boy Damien, my buddy Damien, he was there. But I think it was like it would go from days to nights, So at first, like the sleep schedule was a little odd. But I mean, I didn't do much. I'm not a big beach guy.
Yeah. I
and
wouldn't be either.
and Damien, we hung, we got food I think a couple times, but he's kind of like me. He just hangs out in his room. We just kind of hang out there. He's watching movies. I'm watching MacGyver and shit. So I mean, I didn't like when I wasn't working. I was either at the hotel. And if I left the hotel, it was usually just to get something to eat.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was no complaints about it at all. But I mean, it's just kind of working on location.
As it says, I interviewed quite a lot of people from almost everybody. I think has made an appearance on the slab at some stage, and everyone said that how nice everybody was, or you'd be walking down the hall, you'd meet someone, and you'd end up going for food.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it must have been brilliant.
Like I said, I got there kind of late, but there were certainly, like a cast that big, there are going to be cliques, or people kind of click up groups. I think so. There were, and I didn't really. Me and Damien were kind of in one, but you didn't really see us around a lot,
Yeah.
And Terry Kaiser, he didn't stay too far from me, and one day I was able to flag him down, went up and hung out with him for a while. That was probably the true highlight of my trip, was sitting up there for a couple hours just chatting, man. He's had such an amazing career, and he's been doing it so long, and he's got the best possible advice, and he's open to give advice. He's just, man, I had nothing but great things to say about the guy. That was a real treat getting to meet him. I didn't have any scenes with him, but I still made damn sure I got to have a coffee or something and talk with him. What a sweet guy.
Having someone like that on set and not even getting the chance to speak to them for 5 minutes would have been a fucking sin.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I got me plenty of good times.
Yeah.
And Buddy was, it was fun to be a part of Buddy's, his return, back to filmmaking, because it's going to have its, from what I understand, it did pretty well. It played at Joe Bob's Jamboree, I think, in Vegas or outside of Vegas, something like that. I heard the response to it was pretty good. I couldn't be there, but some of the cast was. Jeff, the AD, said it went pretty well.
I have a poster signed by some of them that were there. Carl Grasso was there. Joe Castro was there, obviously, to make special effects.
Yeah.
Buddy was there. Jeff was there. Eva Hamilton was there. Cody Renee Cameron was there.
That's a whole bunch of people went, huh?
Chance Madison was there.
Yes, yeah.
And then I think her name is Naomi. I'm not even going to attempt to butcher her second name.
Yes, yeah, Naomi. Wildermuth,
there was a few there. Yeah, I have a poster signed. Carl got me one. Shout out to Carl because he's a legend.
Yeah, what's going on, Carl? He's a cool dude. He's fun.
Everyone kind of knew.
He's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, everyone kind of knew my affiliation to this movie at some stage or another. Mm-hmm. I'm now lucky enough to have a Mutilator 1 poster signed by Buddy Cooper, and then the M2 poster signed by who was at the premiere. So I'm gonna superimpose a picture now in the background at some stage whenever I get time and have all the little bits up. But that was great. Obviously, you played McNutt in this one. It's a bit more lighthearted to Malum.
Oh yeah, a little slightly different there. What a fun.
Ryan James was there as well.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
He's everywhere. That guy is everywhere.
A man has probably the best hair in the business.
Yeah, and he cut it for Mutilator 2, and I remember thinking, like, after because it was long and awesome then, and he goes in and they cut it. I was like, what? Even Damon says, like, he cut his hair for this? He's like, he did? Cut? Was like, yeah. And look, it grew right back. I'm like, yeah.
I cut my hair once and it never came back.
I'm afraid to fuck with mine anymore for that reason, man. If I take any more off, I'm history.
It hasn't actually dropped yet, so we're not going to go too deep diving into it. But obviously, from what I know from everyone, it was great on set and whatnot. So, I'm intrigued to see when that drops how it goes.
Me too. I hope the Mutilator fans. I hope they dig it. if they like them brutal kills, this one's got that in spades.
Obviously, you had the Souska sisters did I think that's how you said it, that name anyway.
Yeah,
They
sounds
did
good.
they
I
did
believe
a
so.
kill as well.
Yeah. I think I got the brunt end of that one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I could nearly tell which one it was. Um, Now I did have to get confirmation just to be safe, but
Yeah,
um,
I can't. Listen,
yeah,
I don't want to ruin it, but
and
like,
some
damn,
some
was he
major
that?
major good special effects from Joe Castro as well.
Yeah, he killed it, man.
Yeah,
Like literally,
uh,
he must have killed probably. Oh, he's got a hell of a body count. I'm saying too much, but yes, he
um,
put in his work for real. Joe was kept very busy.
he done a hell of a job. There was one in particular. I'm not going to say who it was, but the injury that you see. So like, you obviously loses a bit of skin and like there's like yellow pus and everything coming out. And I was like, it's the minor details.
Yeah,
And I was like, that's fucking brilliant, brilliant.
yeah.
Um,
His effects, man,
he's
they're
off the
wild.
charts, but
He's good. Yeah, no, he knows what he's doing, man. He's excellent.
we'll hopefully see him on the show at some stage in the new
Yeah.
year as well.
Oh, I bet he's got
Uh,
some stories, man. He's been doing this a while. He's been doing it a long time.
man's busy all the time.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
And then obviously we'll move on to that another one that hasn't quite been released, but the news broke early in December there of a 2024 release for Late Checkout.
Mhm.
This is one I text you straight after it, and I was like, "You absolutely stole the show in this one." Not just because you had the same name as me.
That
I
put
would
me at
like
an
to say
advantage.
I would like to say that it was a tribute to me, but it really wasn't. Um, but yeah, the cast in this was off the charts as well. You, LC, Kamara, Bailey, Anna, um, obviously Molly as well. Felissa Rose. The list is endless in this one.
Yeah,
Um,
and it was a
that
great group of people to be around, man. Like we're stuck in that cabin for what a few days. I think I was there maybe 3, stuck in that cabin, but couldn't ask for better people.
yeah,
Like I, it was lovely, man. We during the daytime, sometime film all day up into the night, and I had a I had a great time.
you can't
And Greg
you
was,
can't go wrong with that.
Greg was, fun, kind of chilled. It was it was a fun bit. It was a fun bit to do.
It was funny because I said when I spoke to Molly, I said when I watched that, there's that group when you have a group of friends, the way those characters developed is the way most the friendships groups develop. You'll have one that's stuck to his girlfriend. You'll have one single one that's kind of awkward and might have an attraction to somebody else. You've got the arsehole.
Yeah, you got the
Uh,
asshole who slays, but
Brandon
is that?
Brandon was
Oh,
brilliant in this as well.
oh yeah. And he was
Yeah,
he had to come in last minute, so he filled in at the last minute, was able to knock that out
mm.
on a whim. Like that's what a pro Brandon is, man.
And you were saying Anna was last minute replacement as well.
Yeah. And again, she did the same thing. They
Yeah,
came in and just killed it. Like
yeah,
it was awesome. I was happy with it. I was so happy with it.
yeah.
Like,
And
no matter what goes down here, guys, whatever, like, I can safely say, wow, I had a lot of fun doing this.
yeah,
And
that one
I'm
there,
excited to see this. Like, I had a lot of fun being here.
that one there is going to be a tribute to a sort of the '80s kind of slashers.
Mm-hmm.
It gets down straight in. Story's not too convoluted. Doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
Straight in. No lube.
Yeah, it wastes zero time. Zero fat on this one.
Yeah.
Very
Straight
easy, very, very little.
straight in. No lube. People getting fucked up.
Yeah.
And there are some really good kills in this one as well.
Yes, they are. We're not going to fuck everything up with exposition.
Yeah.
We're just going to get there.
I mean, yeah, it was great. And like, what was it like for you, say, even working with a legend like Felissa Rose?
Oh, it was awesome. It's my first time acting, and I don't think I acted with her in the scene, but I was there when she was filming some of hers. It was awesome. I'd met her on Terror Trips. We'd all, hung out, I think, one evening over dinner. She's awesome. It was great to be there with her. And since then, I think we did Watchdog together. And I get time in there and I think she's just wonderful, man.
Yeah.
I think she was excellent in Watchdog. I can't wait for people to see it. Because her and Patton together are a real treat in the movie.
They were fucking brilliant.
They are excellent. I'm like, when I was like, did they just fucking steal the movie, these two? But they're great. So working with her is it's something. 9 times, like 99% of the time, I'll do it if she asks me to.
Chaney, we have this movie. I'm in.
Yeah. Jay, Felissa said you'd be good for. All right.
Yeah, as soon as you hear that name.
I trust her. I trust her.
But obviously, herself and Dan are absolutely smashing it with the production as well of these movies. But like, I didn't know really what to expect from Late Checkout, and obviously it's been so long. Like Anna was the first interview we done from Mutilator 2, and she wasn't far away from going to Late Checkout when we done it. So she's April to be probably 2 years now.
Damn.
No, that wouldn't be right, would it? Yeah, I think April would be 2 years. Or a year. A year? No, 2 years. Say, yeah, probably about a year and a half.
Yeah, about a year and a half.
When did you film Late Checkout? Or when did you film Watchdog? 2022?
Shit, when did I do that?
Yeah, 22.
No, 2022. Yeah. It was not this April or this May, but past May.
Yeah, so it would have been the April before
I left the Mutilator set and went straight to Late Checkout.
Right, yeah.
Which means I think she wrapped a few days or something before me. She was already gone, but she also went from Mutilator to Late Checkout, just a span of, I'm not sure how long for her, but I flew directly from there to there. Yeah, easily, about a year and a half.
But like Anna was brilliant, and then that's how long I've been waiting on Late Checkout. And at that stage, I hadn't known, like obviously didn't know yourself at that stage, or any, like I knew of you, but I hadn't done the interview or hadn't been in contact. So when I seen the casting, I was like, "What the fuck is this cast?" I was like, "They're just playing fantasy casting here."
Yeah.
And obviously, I'd been in contact with Molly for probably about a year beforehand as well, before she came on. She's another diamond.
Oh, she's great. Oh, she was fantastic in Late Checkout. She's really good.
Yeah. And then obviously we touched on Watchdog there. Obviously we done an episode there as well. You'll find it in the back catalogue about Watchdog, all about Watchdog, with Chaney himself, with the director and writer LC, and Dan, who's producer and an actor in it. The Watchdog was just off the charts good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, like absolutely off the charts. And as I said to you, it's not kind of a home invasion, but it is, and it's a trauma movie, and it's kind of like a hybrid of everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I think LC, yourself, anyone involved in it, absolutely knocked it out of the park.
Thanks, man. I'm really proud of that one myself. I couldn't be happier with every element of it. Between the cast and the crew, they were all great. If I direct a film, I'm calling every single one of them. If I helm a film, they're all getting calls from me.
They don't even get an option.
The same crew every time.
Just fraudulently sign their name on the contract and be like, "You signed this. Look,
you signed this, man. Come on."
Yeah.
What are we doing? I don't know. Let's go.
Wes absolutely smashed it as well as the main protagonist.
Wes is he's fantastic.
Yeah. Obviously, then again, I said about working with Felicia, working with another legend in Mark Patton.
Yep.
Obviously, Nightmare on Elm Street 2. I don't have the T-shirt on. I had it on earlier on. the Grady T-shirt that I have.
Grady, he was
Yeah,
my favorite.
yeah, it's the
I
one.
was
It's
always
the
sad
part
to
where
see him
Freddy's
die.
crawling out of his chest. Um, it's probably my most favorite moment of number two. Um, I wouldn't be the hugest number two fan, but it was kind of like the way we were talking about Evil Dead there at the start. It
Hmm.
changed from dark and gritty in the first one to far more humorous in the second. And I was like, I think because I seen it so young, I just wasn't with it. Now I might go back and try and watch it without judging it straight away
Hmm.
and see.
I
But
like it's not my favorite in the series, but I mean I got no problem with it. I liked it. I thought he gave Patton in particular. I thought he gave a damn good performance. It was
oh,
like
the troubled
fearless. It was
youth.
100% engaged. And he's so knowledgeable. He's very very smart, especially about uh, film acting. Um, so I learned a lot, watching him how he was doing things. He's very very smart about it. A real pro in that regard. He's very very smart.
He gives you a hard time in it anyway.
Yeah, boy, does he.
And you could picture him doing that in real life, really, couldn't you?
Yeah, it is actually a sweetheart to me for the money. Yeah, I mean, to me for the most part, he was a sweetheart, man.
I mean, you can't go wrong with that. And then obviously, before we move on too much, a big shout out to Celeste Landon, who was absolutely ridiculous in this movie.
Yes, she was, and as she was also in Tori Jones's Phantom Fun World.
I haven't seen that one
She
yet.
was excellent. Yeah, check it out, man. Her LC West, it's a good flick.
Yeah, it's on that list to watch. I just haven't had
Yeah.
anywhere to get it yet.
And another name to look out for is Spencer Madison. Um, she was
Oh
really
yeah,
good.
she was good in Wolf Hollow as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
She stands out. She's really good.
I didn't know she was in that now. I've been in contact with her a couple of times and we were trying to line up a show. It just didn't line up for us at the time. So
Yeah, I only know her just by the movies I've seen. I've never met her or anything,
yeah,
but in
oh
my
she's
opinion, she's good. She's her, Kamara, Bailey. They're all really good. They all have what it takes to keep on going.
yeah, but that's it. That's what you want, though, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, if you can make it full time and acting, doing something you
Yeah.
love, why the
And
fuck not?
those every single one of them deserve it, man.
Yeah, it's great to see. And then so what does 2024 bring for you, Chaney?
Well, we got a couple things in pre-production. I don't think boots will be on the ground till early spring. But we got the film Deadly Endings, featuring a lot of the people we've talked about. Pretty much
That's a big one.
the entire cast of Wolf Hollow. No, actually, no, Wolf Hollow's not what I'm going to say. But Deadly Endings, it's an anthology film written by Richard Diesel or Richard Harlust. I hope Harlust, I believe. Stars stars. It's got me, Mr. Drew Fortier, Hannah Fearman, Felissa
Chrome Skull
Rose,
himself.
Lucas Dunaway, Elsie Holt, my boy Elsie, and more being announced. As we speak. Daniel, of course, I think I already said him. But
That man's in everything.
I'm really looking forward to this particular one. It's good. It's good. It's a great anthology, great stories, and it's very well written. Wes Robinson, he's in there.
Big Wes.
Yeah, big. So it's a lot of it's a lot of the crew. It's a lot of the team. So
This
that'll.
is where. Do you remember I said to you about like check out being fantasy casting?
Mm-hmm.
This is the definition. This is the definition of playing Madden with fucking salary cap turned off.
It's another Expendables of the horror world.
This is going to be off the charts good.
Yeah, that one's going to be good.
Yeah.
What do we got? top secret project, and I don't know how much I can say about it from me. Well, not me. I was just a part of it, but it was great. That'll be some promos for that. It's already been finished, but we'll start promoting it and such pretty soon. I'll guess I need verification before I can drop that, but
Yeah,
it involves some.
don't do anything that might risk it.
Um,
But as soon as you have stuff to put out for it, let us know and we'll share it out.
yeah, absolutely. A couple of those bad boys. There's something we're hoping to get done here in my hometown in the summertime. Uh, Dramatic thriller. Can't speak
Not
too much
interested.
yet, but it's
Not
I'm really
horror.
looking forward to that one. It's going to be a fun year for me. Hopefully we can hopefully I can get some good stuff made and keep entertaining.
I have no fear, no doubt that you'll carry on and it'll get better and better as the years go on.
Appreciate it.
As I said to you, it's something that there's no point in me trying to gas it. You're gonna get acting roles anyway, but I genuinely believe I genuinely believe you're one of the top talents in the indie scene at the minute.
That's funny.
Male talents anyway. Can't compare you with female talents. That's a different story for horror.
Well, they win every time. They will win.
Well, I've seen some of your older stuff. The females always seem to win.
Yes, they do. I'm powerless.
But as I said,
that guy they like to kill. I think I've been killed by I think I've been killed on camera by a lady. I mean, a good amount of times. Yeah, I don't want to spoil all of it for listeners, but yeah, no. If you did track, if we're keeping track, I have met my demise at the hands of the heroine, the leading lady of the film, more than once, more than several times. I got a problem with it. Yeah, it's got to happen, man.
To be fair, if you play the bad guy in terms of horror, right, 90% of the time you're going to lose to a female.
Yeah.
So.
That's what we got our final girls for. They have to win it.
There is some movies. Like I obviously am a big fan of the Wrong Turn franchise.
Yeah.
So apart from number one with Eliza Dushku and slightly part two, there's no real final girls. They all get killed, which is good to see because you don't see it coming.
Yeah, that's why the first one kind of like I said. I think I said something about it the other night. Like I kind of like it when somebody lives and wins.
Yeah, you have to win sometimes.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, hell, if the movie makes money, they'll make another one. Like no one stays dead forever. Like the bad guy never stays dead, but let somebody win once in a while. Yeah.
It's great though.
It gets so cynical over time. Like everyone just keeps dying. Where's my Nancy? Give me a Nancy. Where's my Alice? Like I need somebody to go through hell and win, rather than go through hell and get their head chopped off, like at the end. But
I gotta throw this out there at the risk of sounding stupid. By Alice, you mean Alice from Resident Evil?
I like Alice from Resident Evil, but no, I was referring to Alice from Elm Street.
Oh, from 4.
Yeah, 4 and 5.
Yes. I get that. Yeah, immediately I think back to Resident Evil when you hear Alice.
Yeah, which that's I mean that makes sense too. There's like 5 or 6 of them. I've seen them all and they were all awesome. You ask me, like I had no problem with any of them. But they're all cool.
I especially love 2.
Yeah,
Apocalypse.
Yeah, is that the one Barry is in? That's the one that Barry is in, right? The character Barry.
Oh, Mike Epps.
No.
Is his name not Barry?
Cop, Kevin Durant. Maybe he was a cop character. He dies at the end of it, but he's kind of awesome. I think it was probably 3 or 4. I don't think he was in 2.
No, it's the one that had Carlos Oliveira in it.
Okay.
Yeah, man, out there for air.
Oh, that Frere, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's just awesome in that movie.
Yeah, he is. He is.
It's the first one where they brought Jill back
Yep.
in. Yeah, um, yeah, I love that. I loved it. Actually, gotta
Me
watch
too.
them again soon.
Yeah,
But
I might.
Chaney, I don't want to keep you too long into your afternoon. Um, got one more thing to do with you. We done it the
Let's
other
do
night on the fuck me, I can't think of the name. The Watchdog episode.
it.
I had a complete mind blank there. As it says, back then we were gifted these evil what would you do cards from evilcardgames.com. Right? You were all right with it the other night, so I'm just going to take you're all right with it now. I'll ask you
All right.
two, and we'll get you out of here. Oh, Jesus. You've been masturbating to VR porn. When you turn it off, there's a hot coffee next to you. What do you do?
I don't think I understand.
So basically, from what I get from this is, you've been stroking it, and someone's come in and left a coffee beside you, but you obviously have a VR headset on.
Like I get caught.
Well, I
By the,
imagine someone has come in and left you a coffee.
uh, while I'm doing it.
Yeah,
Oh, are they still there when I realize the coffee's there?
it doesn't say.
Yeah. Well, I imagine I would say thank you for the coffee.
Do it again would be my answer. Fuck it. I've already been caught. Might as well keep going.
I ordered cream. Never mind.
I'll give you one more, and then we'll finish up for the evening, and I'll let you go and be a family man again. You're dressed in a leather catsuit. Your grandma walks in on you. What do you do?
I guess I have a sit down with grandma.
Take your licks.
And yeah, have to have I'd probably just confront her then and there, like, well, it's out.
This
Where
is
do
what's
we go
happening.
from here, Granny?
I'm still here. I'm still the guy.
It's still me. Yeah.
Kinda. I'm just a bit
probably
more
just have a sit
exposed.
down with Granny at that point. Like, we should talk.
But yeah, it's just a bit of crack those card games.
Yeah.
As I said to you, you have a big year coming up next year, so I've no doubt we'll get you back on once everything starts to drop. And as soon as you want anything shared out and whatnot, you know where we are to send it out for you.
Appreciate that, brother.
And 2024 is going to be a huge year for you. No doubt.
I hope.
There's no hope. Hope gets you nowhere. Talent gets you everywhere.
Yeah, hope's just a word.
Talent gets you everywhere, and you've got a lot of that at the minute. So,
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. So as I says, this has been Chaney on for his third appearance on the show as a guest. Starting to become one of the furniture now. But yeah, you're going to be the record holder for a while, I'd say.
Right on.
I think LC Dan, and Ben Scrivens from Fright Rags are probably the only other ones that have had two. Oh, Dan Grogan has had two, but one was a full episode and one was a what would you rewatch for Halloween little snippet that we did last year.
Dan's a good guy. I like Dan.
Dan's a great guy, yeah.
Yeah.
At the minute, you're out in front. We'll try not to leave it as long the next time before we get you back, but obviously you're a busy man.
Always got a little time.
Always got time for the guys.
Yeah, always got time.
But what we'll do is we'll leave it there, folks. This is Chaney. You'll see his name everywhere next year. Just keep an eye out. As I says, the movies coming out are going to be awesome, and especially when you get a chance to see Watchdog when it drops, it's going to be off the charts good. But this has been your Friday night, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll finish this the way I finish every single one of them. In the words of the great George A. Romero, stay scared.
Woo!